Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So the event is scheduled to start by 4. So I just play a couple of videos. Welcome. So make sure you're dropping your name and where you're joining from in the chat room. Thank you so much for joining.
Baálé jẹ́jẹ́ Àyìndé Albert Gunuwe ede makoko emi jiro na jetawo lati ye fún awutu sa do mi pele e mai mo e mi na do mi jo tún pẹ̀lú mo si ba wo nu o fe lọ́gbọ̀n mi do ndo me ba Gunule do mereti to gba me fi ni don gba to dogo ni dongbe todogo jonu mono gume
So thank you so much, Data Science Nigeria. Thank you so much, MasterClass Foundation. God bless you. Thank you for this support. Thank you for remembering Makoko.
Learn at Home is brought to you by Data Science Nigeria in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can all hear me clearly. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can all hear me clearly. My name is Toby. I'm going to be your host for today. So thank you for joining early. Please make sure you drop your name and where you're joining from in the chat room. Do a little bit of interaction, and we get to it as soon as it's time. For the time being, make sure you're enjoying watching what we've been doing at DSN. Thank you so much, guys, for joining once again. Welcome. So don't let it Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to DSN's training. My name is Toby. I'm going to be your anchor for today. Whilst we wait, just make sure you're dropping your name and where you're joining from in the chat room. Welcome.
Hooray! Data Science Nigeria marks 5 years of transformational impact. It has been 157,680,000 seconds of running an award-winning and high-impact artificial intelligence learning, research, solution delivery, consulting, and AI startup incubation network. Let us celebrate some of DSN's major milestones. Over 500,000 learners have benefited from the DSN's free online and offline training sessions in artificial intelligence, data science, and digital skill-related classes. The organization runs the most expansive network of AI learning delivery in Africa, with 41 physical learning communities in cities and on campuses. It also organizes annual Pan-Nigeria AI Introductory AI Innovation Project. It currently has an online learners network in 49 countries across the world. Data Science Nigeria, through its founder, Bayo Adekombi, published the first AI book for kids in Africa. The book uses cartoon-like characters to demystify and simplify the basic concepts of AI and Python programming. The book is currently being distributed through a nationwide Train the Teachers program to ensure that every child has the foundational knowledge required to competitively prepare for the fourth industrial revolution and the future of work. The annual DSN All-Expense Paid Bootcamp has become the numero uno of AI learning in Africa. It brings together some of the best global experts who visit Nigeria physically or connect virtually to teach and mentor young African talents. Each AI bootcamp starts with thousands of participants, with only 400 best participants making it to this intensive learning session. The 2021 edition had learners from over 20 countries. Today, DSN has become the biggest talent recruitment pipeline to leading organizations in Nigeria, providing access to top talents who have been trained through DSN's intensive, hands-on, and industry-ready training modules. DSN has also validated its technical capability in the areas of consulting and solution delivery. It has successfully delivered over $6 million worth of professional service for leading global multinationals and development agencies like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, World Bank, MasterCard Foundation, Chevron Nigeria, AI Commons, KPMG, Access Bank, and so many others. DSN remains very strong in artificial intelligence research, with over 13 academic papers published and accepted at peer-reviewed conferences. The inspiring works of DSN have been showcased at all the world's leading AI conferences. From NeurIPS to ICML to ICLR to deep learning in DABA. DSN's work in AI for social good was a case study of excellence at the foremost conference of the Association for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence held in New York, USA in 2020, where the founder of DSN spoke as a keynote speaker. DSN AI Lab in Lagos is generously supported with research robots from the Computer Science Department of the University College London, complemented with a world-class research workstation donated by Nvidia. DSN is proud to have won the academic poster at the 21st edition of the ACM Conference on Economics and Computation, EC20, the world's premier conference on the interface of economics and computer science, organized by the Association for Computing Machinery, United States. DSN also won the Best Runner-Up Poster Award at the Deep in Daba in 2019, Africa's foremost AI conference, where the effort of Data Science Nigeria was also recognized with the prestigious Wangari Maathai Impact Award. DSN's work has been acknowledged across the world as a best practice in talent building, indigenous application of AI, community development at scale, early education in AI, and AI for social good. Its work has been reviewed and referenced by the World Economic Forum, UNESCO Science Report 2020, UNICEF reports, African Union, Data.org, and many others. DSN was the only African finalist at the X Prize Algorithm for COVID Prediction competition. DSN was also part of the National COVID Intervention Team on the use of advanced epidemiological machine learning algorithms to flatten the curve. DSN runs a startup incubation center dedicated to artificial intelligence with a current cohort of 12 startups at its new center in Yaba, Lagos, Nigeria. DSN has transited from the generic theory of AI into practical solution development with a focus on how to apply AI at scale in emerging markets. During the COVID-19 lockdown, which created a major learning disruption to many students in Nigeria, DSN invented an adaptive artificial intelligence learning algorithm, which was leveraged to deliver effective and interactive learning through basic SMS, feature phones on 2G network, and interactive radio platforms. This effort helped many learners who have no access to the internet or smartphones. Over 8 million learners benefited from this intervention through the funding support of the MasterCard Foundation. DSN has been a revolution with many firsts of its kinds, like the AI Summer School for Kids, Inter-University Machine Learning Competition, AI hackathons for top organizations, data scientists on demand, AI tutors on demand for primary and secondary schools, AI knowledge box of 20,000 learning videos, free AI for beginners free ebook, and its current effort to set up AI libraries at all the top Nigerian universities. As DSN marks its 5th anniversary, it is making some big, bold transition under its 5 Perfect Transition mandate to re-strategize for the future. The organization is recalibrating its vision and mission with focus on enabling 1 million AI talents in Africa and building AI solutions that will enhance the quality of lives and well-being of people living in emerging markets. It is a double-fold impact transition. Let us reflect on these big 5 shifts.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you're joining us from. My name is Toby. I'm going to be your anchor for today. Thank you for joining so early. So we're just watching a couple of videos from last year, the previous years on how DSN has evolved. So we'll be starting the session in the next 4 minutes. So please enjoy the videos whilst you wait.
1. DSN is transiting into a global operation beyond Nigeria under the DSN brand name. That is Data Scientists Network, with an existing learners network in almost 50 nations. DSN has become a global knowledge delivery network for the world. All its local and global extensions will now answer the DSN brand name. 2. DSN will run a dual business model as a social enterprise with DSN Foundation Nonprofit and DSN AI Innovations Limited, both in Nigeria and in the United Kingdom. This effort will position DSN for sustainability. 3. DSN is also changing its consulting model by becoming a distributed talent company. It will run a globally diverse network of expert consultants and partner companies who will collaboratively work with DSN full-time in-house staff to deliver world-class solutions under its new partnership program. 4. DSN is launching its learning network with more frequent online masterclasses, project walkthrough sessions, hands-on expert research sessions, and mentoring. These will be facilitated by some of the world's best experts. This expanded learning will also include dedicated programs for professionals, kids, researchers, and developers. 5. DSN AI Innovation will be unveiling Spot On, its geospatial AI precision analytics solution for retail and fintech, and ULearn, its AI-powered augmented learning platform that activates learning for every child. DSN is currently building more high-impact products in health, financial inclusion, agriculture, and others. It is a new season at Data Scientists Network, DSN. As DSN unveils its new logo to reflect its global positioning and expansion beyond Nigeria, the organization remains very committed to delivering high-impact AI solutions across the world while expanding its free training and research network across many countries. Welcome to the future with DSN, powering 1 million AI talents and delivering transformational AI solutions for 2 billion people in emerging markets. The 5th DSN anniversary.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining us from. My name is Toby. I'm going to be your host for today. So the session will be starting in the next maybe 2 minutes. So we just want a couple more people to join the call, then we're ready to go. Now, whilst we wait, we'll be watching a couple of videos. Make sure you're interacting in the chat room. Just drop your name, where you're joining from, and we get into the session very soon. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Adaptive and personalized learning powered by SMS. Adaptive learning personalizes the learning experience as each learner can learn at his or her pace. It is an integral part of student-centered learning where learning focuses on the distinct learning needs, interests, aspirations, or cultural backgrounds of each student. With or without the internet, adaptive learning powered by artificial intelligence makes it possible for learning to be customized per student based on their preferred learning style, competence, path, and context. With our robust adaptive learning engine delivered via SMS, learning can be personalized for students who neither have access to the internet or own a smartphone. Our AI platform studies and detects the learning patterns of each child based on real-time quizzes, revisions, and intervention response. DSN AI EdTech solution is tailored for feature phones and uses predictive analytics and recommendation engine to deliver customized learning that addresses the unique needs of each learner. Check out how AI-powered adaptive learning works with interactive SMS learning for learners without smartphones and limited access to the internet. Students participate in our adaptive learning by sending LEARN to a special code via SMS. This is Emeka participating in our Learn at Home adaptive learning with his student ID 1567. This is Halima participating in our Learn at Home adaptive learning with her student ID 1457. All the students might be learning the same topic, but each of them will follow a unique path to master the concept. Emeka and Halima are taking the same learning path in English to master parts of speech. The learning content are delivered based on how Emeka and Halima accurately respond to the SMS quiz. If a learner masters the concept faster, a more advanced topic is shared with an evaluation quiz. However, if a learner fails to answer the quiz correctly, simpler examples and quizzes are given with more clarification to help the learner master the concept better. The two learners will have a personalized and unique knowledge graph to follow based on concept comprehension. Our adaptive AI algorithm pinpoints the strong and weak areas of each learner in order to create customized learning journeys for each learner, helping each learner navigate the concept in a way that makes learning fun, simple, and engaging. Any learner lagging behind receives even more personalized learning support to enable them gain full mastery of the concept. Every child is special and unique, So also must their learning process be distinctly personalized with or without the internet, based on the common devices that many students in rural and suburban communities have. With great personalization comes better learning outcome. Data Science Nigeria EdTech AI Adaptive Learning Engine for feature phones using SMS.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you're joining us from. I hope you can all hear me clearly. Awesome. I can see that people are excited. Everybody's excited to be here. That's what we like to see. That's what we do. So welcome everyone to the hands-on project-based data visualization master class. So let me just share my screen and just confirm if you can see my screen. Yeah, so I just need confirmation that you can see my screen clearly. Awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, so my name is Toby and I lead partnerships and collaborations at Data Scientist Network Foundation. I'm going to be your anchor for today. So before we get into the session, I want you all to just put your hands together for yourselves, just for yourselves at this point. Just put your hands together for yourselves because being deliberate about your learning is no easy task. So first of all, put your hands together for yourselves. I want to see plenty fire emojis in the chat. I want to see plenty hands clapping together. Thank you all so much for joining. We do this for you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yes, make some noise, make some noise. Then I want you to put your hands together for our speakers. They have dedicated time to enabling this communal growth. This is powered by a non-governmental organization, an NGO. And they have said that, oh, this is our own contribution. This is our own meaningful quota. So as well, put your hands together for the speakers. One more time, you're going to put your hands together for our partners, the people that powered this, this masterclass. Yes, I'm still seeing the claps coming in. Please let them keep rolling. Let them keep rolling. Then finally, let's put our hands together for DSN, you know, the gift that keeps on giving. Put your hands together, put your fire emojis together as we get into the session. Okay, so now over the next couple of minutes, I will be introducing who we are and what we do at DSN. So if you knew DSN before, our mission was to raise 1 million AI talents in 10 years, which was true. However, we have now expanded on that commitment. Now we have moved from the 1 million mission to the 2 billion vision. That's where we are now. I'm seeing hands being raised. Okay, then my people are handling that. Awesome. So our commitment is to raise 1 million AI talents and develop artificial intelligence solutions that enhance the quality of life and well-being of 2 billion people in the emerging market. So from the 1 million mission, we have now expanded to the 2 billion vision. That's where we are now. How are we going to do this? We are going to use community for learning and research, product for development, product development for social impact, and partnerships for solution delivery. So make sure you write it down. That when next someone asks you, how are you going to achieve the 2 billion vision? You tell the person community, products, and partnerships. That's it. That's how we're going to achieve it. Now, our evolution over the years has been nothing short of incredible. I believe that this deserves a round of applause. Yes. This our evolution alone deserves a round of applause. So we have grown from, yes, thank you very much. So we have grown from a learning community to implementing AI for national development and everything in between. So when we say we run the largest network, what do we mean? I'm sure you were watching the videos and you were trying to understand what do these people mean by they run the largest AI network in Africa. This is what we mean. We won the Mathai Impact Award at Deep Learning in Durban 2019. So for those of us that don't know, Deep Learning in Durban is the largest cross-continental organization strengthening machine learning and AI across Africa. So that's what they do. And they told us that we were the ones that were most impactful in the year 2019. That's how we validate our who are we. And okay, yes. DSN won the best academic poster at the Global Economics and Computational Conference. Please, can we put our hands together for DSN? Because at this point, I should be telling you, welcome to DSN Academy. So please, you're welcome to DSN Academy. Yes. Please put your hands together. Welcome to DSN Academy. Welcome someone in the chat to the DSN Academy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is what we do. We were certified that, okay, these people, they have the best academic poster at the global, emphasis on global, the Global Economics and Computational Conference. In the heat of COVID-19, at the very heart of COVID-19, DSN came out as the only African finalist at the 2021 X Prize competition. So it's not just writing papers. We are delivering solutions on a global scale, because this X Prize was actually powered by Cognizant, and this is a global brand. This is what we do. Now, apart from just writing papers, we're delivering solutions. We know that our solutions are valid. Our solutions are feasible in the global markets. Here's our lead mentor at the AAAI conference. For those of us who don't know, the AAAI is the Association for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence. This is our lead mentor delivering a keynote. So at the largest gathering of AI experts worldwide, we were there. Our lead mentor was there delivering a keynote. DSN has also released the first artificial intelligence and Python book for beginners in Africa. So I know you can see a couple of links. So my colleagues will be dropping the links in the chat, right? So how can you get a copy? They'll be dropping the links there. So if you're in Nigeria and you want a hard copy or you want a soft copy, you could just check through the links. I'm sure my colleagues are dropping them in the chat room now. And you know, it's that season. It's the season of love. Remember, it's the season of love. So like, make sure you gift yourself something. Gift yourself knowledge. This is an amazing gift to yourself. Don't you think so? Put your hands together one more time for DSN. Now, if you're in Lagos, DSN has a dedicated AI research lab. So now, if you're in Lagos, this is your invitation over. I need to see people saying that we will come, because I just told you that we have an AI lab open for everybody. I want people to see, like, I need people to tell me that they are going to be there. With a robotics lab powered by partners like UCL, that's University College London, and Nvidia, with free access. This is completely free. Just come to our hub, come to our location, and we're going to be there for you. Yes, I like seeing it. I need you, even if you're far, make sure you're coming. You're telling me that, oh, you're traveling, you want to see our research lab. Awesome. Now, two of our products built completely from scratch by DSN were selected by the International Research Center on Artificial Intelligence under the auspices of UNESCO as part of the top 100 products in 2021. Please put your hands together one more time for DSN. This is our product. Our products are being recognized. Our AI adaptive engine, our AI adaptive learning engine, which you saw a video of, and Prescribe Right. I'm sure the links are being dropped in the chat rooms by my colleagues, so you can get a broader view of what is happening here. Yes, thank you so much. I see all the appreciation. So 2022 and beyond. So what we're going to be doing at DSN is that we're running a dual business model. Now, in our evolution, I'm sure you saw an AI vertical partnership. Now, bigger than that, which means that, so AI vertical partnership means that companies are going to be collaborating in the fields of the same supply chain as it relates to AI. So anything from supply to distribution, it could be from hardware to software and so on and so forth. So larger than that, we're going to be partnering with people. So how are we going to partner with people? We're going to stick to these fields. So we're going to partner with people in career tech, fintech, retail tech, ed tech, platform tech, and health tech. Please put your hands together for DSN one more time. Now, the DSN AI incubation just finished its first cohort of 12 startups. So if you want to learn more about how you can participate in the DSN AI Startup Lab, make sure you go to www.datasciencenigeria.org/AI startup. So now, how are we able to do all this? How can we do all these amazing things? And this is a summary. This is we're just getting into it. We have a world-class advisory board, which is led by Dr. Uyi Stewart, the Executive Director of Data Science at CGen. So please, let's put our hands together for our advisory board. This one, I need to see the hands clapping. Please put your hands together for our advisory board. They are the ones that are able to push us to do all these amazing things that we do. Awesome, thank you so much. So our partners for this event, let's meet our partners for this event. Nvidia. So Nvidia Corporation is a multinational technology company. They are the forefront of developing processing units for computing and the automotive industry. So those small green tags you see on your systems, when you see a very nice system, you see, oh, this game is running so smoothly on this system. These are the people that power them. Then EFINA, which stands for Enhancing Financial Innovation and Access, is a financial sector deepening organization that promotes inclusive finance in Nigeria. That's all they do. They are promoting financial inclusion in Nigeria. That's what they do. And that's why they are part of this session. So thank you so much, guys, for listening. So I just welcome our lead mentor, our founder, Dr. Olubayo Adekomi. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear us clearly?
Hi.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Good afternoon, we can see you.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to join you this evening. I would say that it affords me a great pleasure to welcome you to this very special community event as part of our commitment to supporting talent development, expertise, and professional practice at all levels. I can see that this is a very continental event based on the profiles of people that I've seen outside Nigeria. I can see all the parts of Nigeria are well represented, but I've seen India, South Africa, I've seen Kenya. I really want to welcome you to a great time of learning. I want to welcome our very esteemed speakers, our partners, Nvidia, EFINA, and of course, the awesome organizing team at DSN. Now you may ask, why is data visualization such a big deal? Now, almost 100 years ago, a man by name Frederick Alban had said, and I quote, "A picture tells 1,000 words." And that was in 1921. Why? Because visualization or visualizing your data helps to break down, process, and present data in very recognizable patterns. This way, it takes less time, less effort for the brain or cognitive capability of anyone to interpret, digest, and make sense of the information. So when you make data simple in form of charts, graphs, maps, timelines, they definitely enhance comprehension. And of course, they drive usability from a business perspective, which drive decision-making very speedily. And of course, there are sufficient researches that are proving the power of visualization. According to a research that was done by MIT, that's Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the research says that 90% of the information transmitted to the brain is visual. So which is consistent with another research that was done by University of Minnesota, which says that our brains process visuals 60,000 times faster than they will process text. So which means image is better, simpler, and better understood. And that's why we can conclude that data visualization is very critical for anyone, particularly business professionals, and therefore It's a nice starting platform for skill enhancement for career progression. So having established why data visualization, so the next question is, why this session? Now we're doing a very special project for social good with our strategic partner who have been introduced by my colleague, EFINA, that is enhancing financial innovation and access. They're a non-profit like ourselves. And the intention is to make this financial inclusion data available in a more accessible, usable format through a public dashboard, which will be ready in the next 3 months. But the question is, even if we build this dashboard, and a lot of people do not understand data visualization, we just have created a nice platform that is not usable. So the implication is, if we want to change the use of financial inclusion data for fintechs, for researchers, for development agencies, for government, policymakers, we must also amplify the practice of data visualization among professionals. And that is the reason why we're doing the two together. And this is going to take another 10 weeks of hands-on learning, where we hope that a lot of professionals like you and students can pick skills that they require for their next level. And that's why you need to know that this event is beyond today. It's 10 weeks of learning, and it is free. This is what we do at DSM. We run massive learning networks across cities and campuses in Nigeria, and all these are done free because we believe that we need to give everyone everywhere the opportunity to learn the skills they need to build the future that they desire. And I need to tell you that we are privileged to have some of the best experts this country, this continent has ever produced in data science and data visualization will be available in the next 10 weeks to support your learning. And it's very, very hands-on, and they're going to be using real industry data. So this is not theory, this is practical. These are people who are doing it at industry level. And that is why I'm appealing to you. Please treat them very well. Attend the classes. Maximize the opportunity. These people are not earning anything for doing this. They just want you to progress. And that's why they are volunteering their time. So whatever cohorts you are part of, do your assignment, make this 10-week count to enhance the quality of your development. And one thing that we cherish so much at DSN is about practical skill acquisition and not just carrying certificate or degrees. There's so many people who just want to have certificate and degree, and yet they cannot do what they claim to do. We believe in the philosophy of Benjamin Franklin, who said, "Tell me and I will forget. Teach me, I may remember. Involve me and I will learn." And this is what we want to do in the next 10 weeks. Involve you in a very involving, immersive, hands-on learning that will introduce you to the fundamentals of data visualization, which will not just be theory, but it will lead you to develop a product that you will be very proud of. Now, let me talk about one of our strategic partners as well, and that is Nvidia. They are also in the room. I have Wei in the room. Data visualization is a big deal, and that is why we have our strategic community partner, Nvidia, because there's a lot that is being done on what we call scientific visualization. As Toby mentioned, Nvidia is the world's biggest semiconductor company, and their GPUs are the best platform available for artificial intelligence or data research and development. We love to associate with the best. They have developed some of the best high-power solutions to analyze data. They actually call it GPU accelerated visualization. We're talking about visualization of geological maps, satellite images, billions of data points of retail data. Because Nvidia enables businesses to visualize large data sets at interactive speed, and they collaborate with remote members anywhere. One of their solutions is called Nvidia Index. It's a 3D volumetric interactive visualization framework that allows businesses, scientists, and researchers to visualize and interact with massive hyper-performing data set. I tell you, there's so much to data visualization that you know it. Will be joining us to inspire us and get you to know that you are starting a very great journey by learning data visualization. As you can see, there's so much to do at DSM. When you hear the word DSN, many of you know us as Data Science Nigeria. We're the same as Data Science Nigeria and the same as Data Scientist Network. If you observe, the first 3 letters remain DSN. Data Science Nigeria was our old name, which reflects our presence in Nigeria. But as you can see, we're becoming global with multi-country presence. And that's why we evolve our name to Data Scientist Network, but we're still driven by the same vision. Our commitment remains supporting talent development, mentoring startups, building solutions to solve real-world problems, and of course, positioning Africa as the jewel that the world is waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the event. Make sure you wait till the end of this session. It is 2 hours, so that you're able to register into your cohort, because they will be unveiling how the cohort is going to run, how you're going to join a learning group, because all of us will not learn together because we're going to do a lot of practical work. So make sure you maximize the next 10 weeks and use it as a career enriching moment. Once again, let's get set for a great evening. I believe that we're going to have a blast. We're going to have a very, very awesome time. Thank you, and let's enjoy ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, let's put our hands together for our founder and lead mentor, Dr. Olubayo Adekombi. Please put your hands together for the team at DSN. Please, 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 let me see your fire emojis. Let me see them coming in the chat room. I need you all to be motivated. Please, let's put our hands together. So before we get into the session, our friends at EFINA would like to just say a few words to us. Hi, Tommy, are you on the call? Oh, I think my people are trying to get her unmuted.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. I will just say a few words. I was going to put up a slide, but maybe I'll just go ahead and just say a few words quickly. So thank you to Data Science Network for putting this together. We are excited about the opportunity to share the data sets and the opportunity to leverage data visualization to also drive financial inclusion. As Dr. Bayo mentioned earlier on, I mean, one barrier that we have seen to advancing financial inclusion in Nigeria is the fact that a lot of people don't have the data that they need to make informed decisions, or that the data that we have out there is not easily digestible. So we believe that this, the visual, the dashboards that we're going to see, would help people to understand more about kind of financial inclusion in Nigeria, what levels there are, kind of the gaps that exist, show people, which segments of the population are, falling behind the targets, where we are, where we are failing or where we're not doing well, and then also help us make better informed decisions. I'm just going to also speak to about the 812. So the 812 data is EFINA's flagship research product. It's conducted biannually, and it's been done since 2008. So the first one was done in 2008, and the last one was done in 2020. The survey captures information around access to financial services. Just going to try and pull this off. Okay. The survey, sorry, just getting some feedback on my system. Okay, sorry. So the survey captures information around access to financial services, It looks into the range of providers that individuals are using, whether they're using banks or insurance companies or pension. It also touches on informal providers that are being used. So we can measure level of access, level of usage, and also the depth of usage. In other words, we could also look into, are they saving, are they borrowing, are they remitting, what are they basically doing with financial services? And it has, it maps out the financial lives, of adult Nigerians. So this, we believe that more information or more understanding of this data will help providers to make good decisions around product design, around designing products that can reach the unbanked segments. And we hope that this cohort of individuals who are here will help us in this journey to driving financial inclusion. Beyond financial data, the A2F also captures non-financial data that's relevant across a range of development programs. So there's some information there that could also help us drive and track our progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. There are gender-focused questions in there. There are also questions that can help us to understand agricultural financing, health financing, and access to finance for business owners. So there's a rich depth of information there, both financial and non-financial. And we're hoping that we can make some sense out of the data in a way that the public is able to understand it better, but more importantly, that providers can use the data to make informed decisions to increase financial inclusion for the unbanked. I should also mention at this point that the A2F it remains the primary source of demand-side financial inclusion data in Nigeria. And so, which means that the financial sector basically relies on this data to track our progress towards the National Financial Inclusion Strategy. And as at 2020, we were about 16% short. We had a target to reach about 80% financial inclusion for the adult population, and we were about 16% short. So we're hoping really that this whole initiative will help us move the needle further in terms of financial inclusion, particularly for the unbanked. So I'm going to just lastly say that, based on what I've said, we would just want to encourage the participants to think about use cases that would help providers better serve the unbanked, better reach the unbanked, and develop products that would improve livelihoods as well for the Nigerian people. With that, I would say thank you very much. EFINA is open to conversations. We're open to, answering any questions around how to, get better understanding of the data, including how to use it, how to interpret the results. We're here, and you can reach us at any time. I should also say apologies. I'm not sure why I couldn't pull up my slides. I couldn't get the authorization for that. So thank you so much. You would receive the data set. It's a little bit bulky, but we are here to walk you through the entire process. It's the 10-week journey, and we are excited about this as well. So thank you to Data Science Nigeria, our network, and thank you to everyone.
Awesome, thank you very much, Tomi. Please, can we put our hands together for Tomi? Please, let's put our hands together for Tomi for this awesome presentation. Thank you very much. So now, we're going to be welcoming our other partners. Let's welcome Wei Zhao, the Director DevRel at Nvidia. Hi, Wei, are you ready to share?
For sure, Toby. Let me share my screen here.
Awesome.
I think you have to unshare, stop sharing. Yeah, let me try. There we go. Can you see my display here?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. So excited to be join today's masterclass. The DSN video at the beginning of the session was so enlightening. And Bayo, Toby, your opening intros really made my heart bump faster. So I'm Wei. As Toby mentioned, I'm leading the cross-geo developer relation team at Nvidia. I'm joining you from California today. It's my pleasure to be here to introduce Nvidia to you. So Bayo and Toby already helped you bust some myths about Nvidia. A lot of developers still think Nvidia as a gaming company, but Nvidia actually started its journey with computer graphics back in 1993. You know, at its core, computer graphics is all about simulation, using mathematics and computer science to simulate the interactions of light, objects, material. For Nvidia, 1999 was a milestone. That was the time Nvidia invented the Graphics Processing Unit, GPU. GPU was designed for graphics rendering, but scientists and researchers started using GPU to accelerate a range of scientific applications. Apparently, that was not an easy task. Researchers had to make their scientific applications look like graphics applications and really map sine, cosine into the problems that drew triangles or polygons. That was the movement called GPGPU, or general purpose GPU computing. Nvidia realized the opportunities here and modified the GPU to make it fully programmable, added support to high-level programming languages like C, C++, Python. Later on, Nvidia also created CUDA programming model. CUDA and the latest GPU platform bring parallel processing capability to general purpose computing that redefined computing. The paths of high performance computing and artificial intelligence innovation began to converge around 2006. In 2009, AI pioneers realized that the GPU chips can run neural networks in parallel. So this unlocked new possibilities for neural networks. I can give you an example. For a neural net with 100 million parameters, traditional processor probably requires several weeks to calculate all the cascading possibilities. But with a cluster of GPUs, you will be able to finish everything in one single day. So now NVIDIA GPUs are widely used in the embedded devices, laptops, workstations, supercomputers, to cloud services. Every step of your machine learning workflow, from model training to model deployment, can be accelerated by NVIDIA GPUs. So this is what NVIDIA does: accelerated computing, accelerated data science, and of course, accelerated artificial intelligence. I want to show you a video. It's roughly 3 minutes. Let's pay attention to all the industry vertically accelerated by NVIDIA technologies. Somehow let me redo this. I don't think you can hear the audio. Let me try this again. I don't know why the audio is not working.
And peering into the darkness in search of water on the moon. I am a guardian, watching for signs of pollution from the sky and protecting us from danger here on Earth. I am a visionary, learning from the past to better predict the future and keep us safe for generations to come. I am a helper, keeping our most valuable species healthy and our crops abundant. I am a healer, making our hospitals smarter for the future. And unneeded treatments a thing of the past. I am a creator, opening new paths to innovation. And new forms of artistic expression. I am a storyteller, giving emotion to words. Und die Sprachbarrieren abzubauen. I am even the composer of the music. I am AI, brought to life by Nvidia, deep learning, and brilliant minds everywhere.
Okay, I hope you found this video interesting. So NVIDIA offers a full range of GPU-accelerated data science platforms, from GeForce T10 RTX for PCs to enterprise workstations, data centers, cloud GPUs. All the major cloud services like AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Service have NVIDIA GPU-powered cloud instance. We support the entire end-to-end workflow of your AI application. But NVIDIA has long ago stopped being just a GPU company. Layers up on the GPU, NVIDIA developed and released libraries and software SDKs that developers and data scientists can use to integrate GPU power into your application. So at the platform layer, we have a CUDA programming model, Tau Toolkit for transfer learning, TensorRT for accelerated inference, Triton for model serving. At the application layer, NVIDIA offers a full line of SDKs to support your application development. For example, DeepStream SDK to accelerate intelligent video analytics, Riva for conversational AI, Clara for healthcare, or one of the latest additions to our SDK family is Omniverse, which is NVIDIA's metaverse solution. So given NVIDIA provides the infrastructure for accelerated computing, I want to focus on the building blocks for accelerated data visualization today. I will introduce CUDA and all these libraries for accelerated data science. So let's start with CUDA. If you have heard NVIDIA GPUs, you probably have heard about CUDA already. CUDA is a parallel computing platform and a programming model that makes GPU for general purpose computing a lot easier. CUDA is not a programming language. it's not a set of APIs. Developers still have to program in C, C++, Python, the languages they're already familiar with. So think about CUDA as the extension of these languages in the form of a few basic keywords. So with CUDA compiler, any piece of code can be easily synchronized from CPU to GPU or the other way around. So while there are other APIs for GPU development, such as OpenCL, and there are other GPU vendors, the combination of CUDA and Nvidia GPU dominates several application areas, including deep learning. So the second building block I want to talk about is rapids. Why are we talking about rapids? Well, to do that, we have to start with data analytics and data science at large. In the past decade, open source software has democratized data science. These tools allow users to abstract the complexity of writing underlying algorithms. In the meantime, give us the flexibility to express our business or scientific workloads in a friendly interface. So many of us are already familiar with these common tools in the Python ecosystem. For example, tools like pandas for pre-processing and data analytics, tabular data manipulation, tools like scikit-learn for machine learning, Apache Spark and Dask for distributed computing. But historically, these tools are built for CPUs. And over the past 10 years, they have increasingly hit computational and cost bottlenecks as our artificial intelligence workloads and machine learning model data sizes were getting larger and larger. So Rapids is all about powering this broad popular data science ecosystem with accelerated computing on the Nvidia platform. It's an open source data science platform that is the umbrella of a couple of initiatives. We have pre-processing libraries, just like pandas, but run the data frame on the GPUs. We have machine learning libraries like scikit-learn, accelerated on GPUs. Graphics analytics libraries, accelerated on the GPUs. And also the ecosystem interoperates seamlessly with deep learning workloads and visualization. So these are the different components under Rapids. Data frame library, cuDF, covers a wide range of pandas APIs. As now, it can also work across multiple GPU node with Dask and Apache Spark. One thing I want to stress here is once you scale your workload to multiple GPU nodes, communication can become a major bottleneck in distributed systems. So Dask plus the UCX integration provides optimized communication framework that offers high performance networking and also supports a variety of protocols. Machine learning library, cuML, and graph analytics library, cuGraph, are used in production at both one single GPU, multiple GPU, and multiple GPU node scale. cuDNN here. cuDNN is a GPU-accelerated NVIDIA CUDA deep neural network library. cuDNN provides highly tuned implementations for standard routines that you are already familiar with, such as forward and backward convolution, pooling, normalization, or activation layers. So cuDNN accelerates a wide range of deep learning frameworks, such as TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras, MATLAB. So on the visualization part, we have cuCrossFilter. So it's the Rapids framework that connects vibe visualizations to GPU accelerated cross filtering. It enables interactive and super fast multiple dimensional filtering of large data set. Visualization libraries have been baked into the broader Python visualization ecosystem. So what does this actually mean? I included some code snips here to give you an intuitive explanation. From a user perspective, it means with minor code changes, you can achieve major performance and cost benefits. So the first row here are the code snips using Pandas, Spark, or scikit-learn running on CPUs. The second row illustrates how the code looks like when you migrate to Rapids. The APIs are identical. You only need to import the Rapids library to unlock the full potential of your GPUs. Well, what should we actually expect? When we talk about the data science workflow, we shouldn't focus on one individual component of the workflow. Rapids is all about the end-to-end performance. So the goal here is to truly go end-to-end with GPU acceleration. So in our example benchmark workload here, we processed about 200 gigabytes of financial service data, scaled up with CPU Spark to demonstrate how the workload scales. So the workload itself consists of data loading and preparation, data conversion, and ultimately machine learning model training with XGBoost. So with 20 CPU nodes, it took roughly 8,700 seconds. That's about an hour and a half, let's say. Data loading and preparation is represented by the purple part, which took roughly 2,700 seconds. Gray part is the time on data conversion, 3,700 seconds, and the rest was on machine learning model training. So when we scale this up with 30 CPU nodes, we can get a big improvement down to about 6,000 seconds. With 50 CPU nodes, further improvement, as you can observe here, to 3,900 seconds. But the improvement sizes get smaller with 100 CPU nodes. That's because eventually we hit the scaling limitation. So in the meantime, the ability to scale out with workload is constrained by both communication cost and power, and of course, power efficiency. So now, if we run the same workload with Rapids by using 16 A100 GPUs, as you can see here, the time reduced to roughly 126 seconds. That's 2 minutes. Yeah, so 16 A100 GPUs provide more power compared to 100 CPU nodes. And also, it offers 70 times faster performance than similar CPU configuration. From cost-saving perspective, we deliver roughly 20 times more cost-effective solution. Okay, let's talk about some real-life Rapids use cases. I want to start with climate modeling. Climate change is the most pressing issue facing humankind. Climate models are basically computer programs that simulate weather patterns over time. In order to get a successful simulation, climate models must reflect real attributes of the Earth's climate. Take into considerations of variables such as temperature, wind, air pressure. So these variables are plugged into mathematical equations that a climate model can solve. So in the context of this, researchers really need to rely on the most advanced computing and acceleration to analyze the avalanche amount of data we have and generate accurate climate models for disaster prevention. So in this example here, Japan Agency for Marine and Earth Science and Technology work with NEC to build an Earth simulator. This simulator runs on a supercomputer powered by Nvidia GPU and rapids. It spans across earthquake, volcano activities, marine resources. With the accelerated computing, scientists can draw better and faster insights into the climate data. Here is a fintech example. Capital One is one of the largest banks in US. They were on this mission to modernize their data analytics platforms. So they use cloud-native platform that supports a wide variety of open source technologies, including using Dask and Rapids to scale computation nodes horizontally and vertically on NVIDIA GPU. And because of this migration, model training time improved by 100 times. Here's a retail example. Walmart has over 11,000 stores worldwide. They have annual sales that is over $500 billion US. So demand forecasting for the Walmart team became very challenging. Their data science team must predict demand for 500 million items by store combination every single week. Unfortunately, with CPU clusters, the workload used to take about 3 days to finish the machine learning model training and more than 12 hours to perform all the forecasting. So after migrating their solution to NVIDIA Tesla GPU, CUDA, Rapids, they also used XGBoost to train their machine learning model. So feature engineering part achieved 100 times performance boost, and the machine learning algorithm training is 20 times faster. So this resulting not only faster delivery of products, but real-time reaction to shopper trends as well. So of course, what we talked about today is barely touched the surface. We only highlighted fintech, retail, climate change, but Rapids is widely adopted in healthcare, research, and other industry verticals as well. A few more words about data visualization. So visualization is apparently a very key aspect of machine learning workflow. Because visualization libraries sit on top of CUDA, the cuDF library we just talked about, it enables dynamic and faster interaction with data. Why? This is because cuDF and other CU libraries avoid data transfer or memory copies. The cuDF library, a data frame library for Rapids, provides a pandas-like data frame that is backed by GPU memory, with data frame operations implemented as CUDA kernels. So similarly, cuPy provides NumPy-like ND array that is backed by GPUs as well. So memory-to-memory copies significantly increase your latency. When we build Rapids, what we get is the ability to ensure your underlying infrastructure knows how to move the memory around, know how to move the memory to the given GPU accelerator. So what Rapids is good for is abstracts the need to have the platform knowledge. You don't have to become an expert of GPU hardware. You don't have to become an expert of CUDA. You abstract from the platform, abstract from the low-level domain knowledge, which normally hurdles to your development, and you can focus on the application-level development. So here I want to show you a quick case study. Dash is the open source framework from Plotly for building interactive web applications-based dashboards using Python. Data Shader is the Python library for rapidly creating principal visual representations for large data sets. By combining them with Rapids, we can enable real-time interactive visual analytics. So in this example, we use population census data in US, mapping every single individual to a single point to a city block. Each person also has unique demographic attributes associated with them, allow for a fine-grained filtering. This was not possible before without Rapids, as data shader didn't have any built-in GPU accelerations. Every single call to data shader would have required transferring larger data arrays to and from GPU memory. Adding GPU support would have required writing and maintaining separate CPU and GPU codebase. So apparently that was inconvenient and not scalable. Now with Rapids, the sensitive visualization uses Dash APIs for generating charts, and Rapids cuDF is being used to accelerate real-time aggregations and query operations. So with Rapids data shader and also Dash, we were able to map 3 million population census data on the map, in the meantime, maintaining the interactivity of the dashboard. Okay, so if you want to learn more about Rapids, this is how you can get started. Join Nvidia Developer Program to connect with millions of developers. The Emerging Chapters program my team runs engage with communities from emerging markets, like Data Science Nigeria. And our monthly live webinar series provides you an opportunity to connect with the experts. Nvidia also has a deep learning institute that provides self-paced and instructor-led courses on Rapids and other SDKs to guide you through your learning curves. Here, I included some other resources to help you get started with Rapids. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you learned something new in the past 25 minutes. Moving into 2022, we will closely collaborate with DSN to empower data scientists like you. We have a full training pipeline prepared throughout the year. Really looking forward to embarking on this journey with all of you. Thank you.
Amazing. Please, let's put our hands together for Wei. Please, I want to see enough reaction in the chat room. Please, let's put our hands together for her. Yes, please, let's keep them rolling. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me confirm if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you very much. So now we're going to be going into the first panel session, which would be moderated by my colleagues Uche and Folakemi. Please let me just confirm if they are on the call. They have all the necessary hosting permissions and on. Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I'm asking Uche and Folakemi if they can hear me.
All right, thank you very much, Toby. I can hear you very well.
Awesome.
A very big thank you to everyone on the call. I believe you've been enjoying the session thus far, and it's been quite enlightening for everyone. So very quickly, without taking much of our time, we're going to get started with the first panel session for today's session. And I can assure you of one thing, that it's going to be extremely valuable and enlightening for you, right? So for today's panel session, the very first one, we'll be looking at very quickly what make great visualization and dashboards. Toby, I would just request that you please move the slides very quickly. Thank you, Toby. All right. So we're looking at what makes great analytical and winning dashboards. And this is very important, knowing fully well that in the coming weeks, right? Over the next 10 weeks, a lot of you are going to be working with us on the hands-on projects for this particular masterclass. And your insights you're going to be getting from this particular session will help you to design a dashboard that can win for any of your clients in whatever niche, either academic, research, business, or nonprofits. So very quickly, I'm just going to be introducing our panelists who are on the call currently. Will confirm their presence, who are going to be helping us to go through this particular session. Now, with me on for this, I have my colleague Falakemi, and so she's going to assist me for this particular session in moderating the questions. So first, for our panelists, we have on the call Olariwaju Oyinboke, who is a data professional that currently leads data management office at Axum & Sad. And I'm aware that a number of you know the company Axum & Sad, right? He has been able to oversee the organization's data management and governance activities in architecture, machine learning solutions for data science, and also to project manage the data architecture project there at Axum & Sad. He's exposed to a number of tools in Power Automate, SQL, Docker, Python, Azure, R, and the Power Apps from Microsoft. And for Axum & Sad, Olaiwaju has been able to combine many of these tools to solve complex business problems. Hi, Olaiwaju. I would like for you to just say hi to the people on the call. Hello, Olaiwaju. All right. So while we're waiting for Olaiwaju to be unmuted, I'll just move on very quickly to our next speaker. Toby, please help me. So I'll move on to our next speaker, Edward. So Edward is a graduate from the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University, who has obviously in the last few years demonstrated core expertise in the data science field, right? Deploying this knowledge, this niche knowledge in the wholesale industry, right? He has competencies in data science, in R programming language, in statistics, and in data analysis with Python. Now, we have on the call with us Edward, who will be helping us also to navigate through building this amazing and winning dashboard. Hello, Edward.
Hi.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
All right. And finally, we have on the call with us also Ahmed Oyelowo. Ahmed is someone who is quite a personal to me, right? In terms that he's one I follow very well on LinkedIn. He's a certified Microsoft Solutions Associate, and also a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional, right? He got a certificate of advanced financial modeling from the Financial Modeling Institute in Ontario, Canada. And one of the things that I am super amazed at, the things that Ahmed does, is the ability to communicate the insights and the knowledge of visualization, dashboards, and business insight from any of your tools, right, in a most compelling and simple way. That's one of the things that I've learned from him, following him on LinkedIn from a distance. Hi, Ahmed.
Hello, Uche. Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you very well. Thank you very much for joining us on this call.
It's a pleasure.
All right. So we're going to get started very quickly. I know our time is fast spent. So let me just get into the questions. Now, most of these questions that we're going to be asking over the next few 15 to 20 minutes, right, are questions we've curated from participants like every one of us on this call, right, who want to understand in depth, who want to understand in simple terms some of the things that relate to data analytics, data visualization, and ultimately building dashboards that help businesses, that help research, that help innovation, and that help all organizations to be able to make qualitative decisions. So I'm going to get started very quickly with Ahmed. Ahmed, this question is for you to just help us get the ball rolling. I want you to help speak to what exactly will you say is the core purpose of dashboards in analytical visualization. Now, this answer I would like for you to quickly speak to it, both from the aspect of the analysts and also for the aspect of the clients, right? Either business, research, non-profit, or academic. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Uche, and good afternoon, everyone. Maybe we have some people who have joined in the morning in their time zone, because I realize that we have joiners from different parts of the world. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. And it's a pleasure to be here with you today to talk about data visualization. And we have been introduced to it. Dr. Olubayo has given us data visualization is all about. And if you want to talk about what the purpose of a dashboard is, I think it also makes sense for us to kind of like look back a little bit and think about what are the products basically of data analytics, all right? So when you have data in its raw format, you will see that it basically does not make any sense at all. So I'm going to be making use of a car dashboard, for example, a couple of times here. So if we think about what a car dashboard looks like, you will see that one of the things that we usually track on a car dashboard the most is actually the usage of fuel and also our speed limit. Those two things are things that we always track a lot of times. All right. Now behind the visual that you see to track all those information is a lot of data. So for example, if you fill up your tank today right now, and you basically continue to run the car, right? Now, the more you run your car, the more your fuel basically continues to decrease, all right? Now, all that information about your fuel decrease is what the car basically is tracking, and that's what you are available to see on your dashboard, all right? Now, if you want to put it into very simple and plain terms, the real actual purpose for having a dashboard is to be able to track activities, or we can say to be able to track numbers, to be able to track business goals.
I think we had an issue with Ahmed's network. Wow, that was going quite well. So we'll just wait a few more minutes. Hello, Ahmed. You might want to check your camera, right? And if you can hear me, it will be fine if you just indicate. But if you can, we'll just move on very quickly to the next speaker. So we'll move on very quickly to the next speaker, right? So of course, when Ahmed comes, he'll just quickly help us run through and then conclude that valuable insight concerning what exactly is the core purpose of data, of dashboards, right, in analytical visualization. And I would just also want to get the perspective of our other panelists on the call right now. Edward, so in your opinion, what will you say is the core purpose? Ahmed has laid a very solid foundation in ensuring, in letting us know that there are questions. I mean, there are a lot of data behind those dashboards. But for the dashboards, what would you say is the core purpose of those dashboards in analytical visualization?
Okay. Thank you, Uche, and thank you, everyone. Standing on the premise which Ahmed has laid, it was trying to make an example and giving us a picture of you driving a car, and every time you check your dashboard to be sure that, okay, am I overspeeding? Is my fuel reducing? So at that point now, you have a feel of what is happening. So in same manner, a dashboard is helping us to have a general view of what's the current state of either a business or a particular scenario. So now if you're in the business or probably in an industry now, in a company now, you want to understand what is happening. Like I want to be sure that I'm safe. I want to be sure my system, my business is safe. So a dashboard, it's a part of the data analytics that help us get an overview of how the business is running. And anytime you go to your dashboard, you always look for some metric to check. So, okay, am I meeting my KPI? Is my customer doing fine? Am I meeting the threshold or probably the standard which I've set for myself? So when you get to the dashboard and you see all those things happening, you feel safe that, okay, fine, I'm fine, then I can continue. But anytime you flag that, okay, something is going wrong from a dashboard, because a dashboard is giving you that managerial mindset to oversee everything that happens. Like what Dr. Bayo said, you can learn 60,000 times faster when you see things. So by you just seeing those images, you understand, you're able to diagnose, okay, something is happening here, and these are things that needs to be done. So that's just a general knowledge of what a dashboard is used for, and the main purpose of a dashboard.
Thank you very much, Edward, for that submission. So I'd just like to confirm before I show the same question, right, although with a little tweak to Olaiwaju, I'd just like to confirm if Ahmed can hear us. Hello, Ahmed, are you back on the call? All right, so I think it's still reconnecting. Okay, Olaiwaju, so for this same question, right, but with a little twist, in your own, I would really love for you to speak from the business perspective, knowing that you have this hands-on experience in real-time business practices at Axiomstat. What would you say is the purpose of a dashboard in analytical visualization, especially for businesses?
Thank you very much. Uche, can you hear me? Can I confirm that?
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
Oh, fantastic. All right. I often look at it from the analytic continuum, but I'm going to set a premise. Let's look at Pythagoras. A lot of people have made postulations about how the world was made up, but the most fascinating of them for me is Pythagoras. He said the world is made of numbers, and the understanding of these numbers and combining them, understand the factors of production and how to put these numbers together can give you an edge in your business. There are two primary purposes that I've seen based on my experience that have led to the use of visualizations on that. First, the analytics continuum. There are always questions in the business, and two questions that dashboard sort of address is what has happened. The questions around what has happened in the business, and the next question is why did it happen? So you want to understand what has happened through the reporting. What is the KPI? What is the revenue? What is the expenses for yesterday, for last week, for last month? Those things have happened, but you want to have an overview of that. So answering the questions from the business side, what has happened? That is the question they're interested in. And after that, a lot of business we ask another question. A follow-up question is, why did it happen? And that is where you have to dive deeper, not just to show the KPI, but explore this data further to understand why is it happening. I'm going to stop there because analytics is a continuum, but speaking to visualizations, the two major things that give birth to things around the business is to understand the question, what has happened and why did it happen? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olaiwaju, for that submission. Now, guys, I want to believe that you can see some commonalities to the answer that Ahmed, before he unfortunately dropped off the call, right? I believe he should be back very soon. And also Edward, and finally Olaiwaju has given as to the core purpose, right? So you're hearing terminologies like KPIs, performances, being able to track what exactly is happening, right? Because one of the things that dashboards as our speakers have been able to establish, help us to do is to understand what is happening. Like we are able to know what is happening. And that's like, that has been established as one of the core purposes of dashboards and analytical visualization. So I mean, Olaiwaju, I'll just stay with you with this question, right? Because you mentioned two critical things that ties to my next question about the questions that we need to ask. And the question is this: beyond those two questions, right? As a data analyst, either one who was employed or contracted by an organization to build dashboards or to do some data analytics and then communicate those insights. What do you think are the critical questions that I need to ask the clients before I get started?
All right, thank you, Uche. I would like to say that the first task on any analytics dashboard project should be questioning. As a matter of fact, the task itself is a quest. And at the end, you want to provide answers to some questions. So you will need to ask a lot of questions, some from yourself and some from the stakeholders. So let me start with the stakeholders. Stakeholders are either people that either direct consumer of the outcome of the work or people whose contributions are needed for you to give that make your submission. So the questions you should have from stakeholders in business to be your manager, direct report, or other units or groups. In research to be the kind of audience that you are addressing and other inputs from other units. So what is the objective of this task? So it's very important that you have clarity on what you are doing. It's not just, this is the data, do this. What do they want to achieve? What am I trying to address with this data? So validate the user need and purpose. Okay, because this is the reason why we are doing this, and this is what you want to address today. So now that you understand that, you should then also ask this question again: who had the primary and secondary audience? The person that is bringing the task to you might not be the one to consume it. If the task that is coming from strategy team, but it's a sales dashboard for the marketing team. Marketing is the end consumer. Because it's coming from strategy does not mean that they are the primary audience who is consuming it. So you need to factor in and understand indeed who are your audience. The person engaging on that project might not be the end consumer. So understanding your audience will help you when you start asking yourself the following questions. When it comes to asking yourself questions, for me, based on the experience on different projects, the kind of question I ask is, first, how can I best address the stakeholders' needs? Now that I understand what the needs are, I will ask myself, how can I best do it? Should I just do visualization? Should I tell a story with it? And I'm still going to that part. So asking that question and trying to say, okay, what is the best way that I can address it? The next question is, what level of work do I need to do to get the data available? It is very important. You don't just assume the data is there. If it's a project that you know that, like the one we're going to use as hands-on now, the project, the data will be there, but they will explain, the business around the data or how the data was generated. You still have to think through, explore the data to understand what are the kind of work you will do to get this data available in the right format, suitable for the work you want to do. The other question you should have after exploring this data at this stage is, are there any possibility of bias in this work? These days, a lot of people do not bother about bias. And bias often leads to wrong judgment, wrong conclusions if you don't pay attention to it. For example, you did an analysis of an organization to say this male, you want to know the productivity, and you have maybe 80% of the employees in that organization are male, and less than 20% are to the female gender. And you see sample, you didn't take everything, you see take sample, and after your work, after your analysis, the average performance for males is higher than that of females. There were a lot of things you did not factor into that work. And you might end up concluding statistically that based on the observation considered in this work, the male employees are more productive than the female. Let's employ more males. That sounds right. But if you look at the fundamental input, which is the data that went into that work, it shows there's a bias. Number one, it's no balance. So you need to understand how can bias come in. Sometimes it could be ethnicity, and you see only one data point representing one ethnic group and thousands of data points representing others. So how do you control for that? You need to bear that in mind. Even if you cannot directly control for it, let that assumption go into the work you are doing. So as simple as it is, take note of that. First, other question you can also ask is, what are the list of visuals that I need to provide to answer the questions and tell the story? So I know the objective, I know what I want to achieve, but what are kind of visuals I can use? Take your time, list them out, list the visuals and check through, okay, should I have a bar chart to express this? Should I have a, this kind of maybe plot, scatter plot to show the relationship between this? You have to brainstorm through this before you just go ahead and do it. One more thing, and again, you can have several iterations when doing this. you try this, it's not working because you are trying to check the type of task that is most adequate. So as you are asking that what are the list of visuals, you should also ask the question, what are the type of tasks that I can create? I just want to wrap this up. Other questions you should ask is, how is this solution going to be consumed? Is it just going to be dashboard as front end? Is it going to be via an API, the outcome? Is it going to be embedded in an application? Is it going to be a desktop app? These are questions that you should ask. Is it going to be just a PowerPoint presentation? You just want to have it in a presentation. And lastly, accessibility questions. You should ask questions around accessibility. When you are building your chart, you should make sure that it is really accessible. Some charts today are not fully accessible. It has to do with the color, choice of color, it has to do with the size, text size, font size, and a few other things like that, that you need to ask and answer. The moment you have answers for this, you are better prepared to turn out something good.
Okay, thank you very much for that submission. I mean, that was quite exhaustive and insightful, right? Thank you very much, Olaiwaju. Now, guys, I've taken down some of the things that Olaiwaju has mentioned, right? So I'm just going to run through them. But before I do that, right, we will be allowing, and I would like for my host to confirm that, because we believe that you do have a few questions that you might want to ask, right? So you could just go ahead to put them in the comment section, and my colleague, who is my co-anchor, would pick up those questions and then make them available to our panelists to provide quick answers to them. Of course, we cannot take all of the questions, but we're just going to pick a few out of them. Now, I want to believe that I saw Ahmed on the call again. I know the network has been a struggle. Hello, Ahmed, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm here actually.
Awesome,
can you hear me?
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much for rejoining. So I'm just going to go straight to you, right? Our time is fast spent, but this is my question goes to you. Now, what will you write in? So I just need you to answer the first question and then quickly round it up with what you believe every great dashboard should have, right? Any dashboard that should be winning or that should communicate and convince its users, right? What do you think those dashboards should have?
Okay, so I don't know how long I spoke before I dropped off the call the other time. So is this something I can just move on to this question, or do I still?
All right, so I mean, if you can do it, the answer in 3 minutes, I would appreciate.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so let me just jump straight up to what makes a great dashboard. Okay.
Right.
So now, being that there wouldn't have been a dashboard without having some kind of data sets, right? So it is a data set basically that you get to process, and it is the outcome of that process that you have as visuals and visualization and the charts, the graphs that we'll talk about, okay? Now, how you decide to present those charts and graphs is by placing them on a dashboard. Let's assume the case of a football match, for example. So for the guys, for the ladies, I'm so sorry. But for the guys, if you watch football, then you understand that, the time always ticks in matches. Time is always ticking and time is always ticking. Now, how do you think the players on the pitch are meant to know when maybe they have 5 minutes more, or they have 10 minutes more? How are they supposed to know, right? The only way they get that information, if you happen to be like maybe the fan of a club that is not completely a winning club, or maybe a club that is currently on the losing side, for example, you will notice that you always have the players looking up in a particular direction. What they're actually looking up to in that direction is a board, and that board basically provides them with a particular information that is going to determine how much effort they need to put in, like how much do we have to hang on, for example, say it's a winning team, or how much do we have left for us to catch up, say it's a losing team, right? So the what you can have for you to say you have a great dashboard, number one is that you must be able to create something that provides that information at a single glance. And that's really the most, probably the most important thing that makes a great dashboard, because you are tracking something. So it does mean that you don't want to spend time on that particular item that you are tracking. So it's not an opportunity for you to start looking for details, for you to start looking for more information. So the dashboard should communicate to you in a single view In a single glance, you should be able to take, as many amount of information as possible from that single glance, okay? Now, that communication should also be very, very easy to understand. And that's why we have charts. That's why your dashboard is basically not filled up with a bunch of text, right? That's why you have charts in your dashboard. And then one other thing I would also like to add for the benefit of everyone here is that on no occasion, so if you want to write it down, you can write it down. There are no rules, but I'm going to drop this rule for you. On no occasion should you create any analysis that does not have comparison. All right, so I'll say that again. On no occasion should you create any analysis that doesn't have comparison. So take, for example, you have looked at, your business data. Let's take sales as an example. And what you have come up with in terms of dashboard or in terms of analytics is more or less like something like total sales, for example. Maybe on your dashboard, you have a chart that shows total sales. Now that's completely meaningless because if you tell me that my total sales, for example, is 1 billion for the month of, let's say, for the month of February, that doesn't make sense to me until I get to compare that with something else. So this 1 billion I'm making in February, how does it compare to February? I mean, how does it compare to January? How does it compare to last year? How does it compare to the industry average? How does it compare to my competition, So every single number you have on your dashboard must have a comparison, and that's where the insights really start to kick in, because the whole objective of having a dashboard at the end of the day is to be able to make insightful business decision making. So always have it at the back of your mind that every single number you place, every single chart that you have on your dashboard must always have an element of comparison to something that is going to spark, that action from wherever the users are.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ahmed, for that submission. Thank you so much. Elements of action, very important that you've just mentioned right now. So I'll just ask my colleague, Falakemi, to just quickly direct the next question. We have one question there on the call, on the chat. Hi, Falakemi.
Hi, Uche. Thank you very much for the introduction. Also, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this session this evening. So it's time for the Q&A session. I'm sure that the session has been very insightful and impactful in every way possible, and that many of us have paid very, very apt attention to all the knowledge that has been shared by our panelists so far. And there might be some of us who have questions or something that we would like to know more on. So if you do have a question, please do not hesitate to drop it on the chat box, and it will be picked up, at least some that we can handle within the time that we have. So I'm going to be starting with the first one that I can find here from Tensom Salah. So Tensom Salah wants to know how it can create insightful KPIs and new metrics when he's doing his data visualization. And I'll be directing that towards Edward. Edward, can you hear me? Can you confirm that you heard the question, please?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so he would like to know how it can create insightful KPI and new metrics.
Okay, yeah, so that's fine. So the first question, I think the first subject here is the KPI. So like starting, I think I like connecting dots, and I think that's what we'll do as a data analyst, is your KPI. You must have been comparing something like what Ahmed said. Like you are trying to measure probably your growth. You are given, maybe for instance now you are given a target to say, okay, in the first quarter of the year you're going to make 1 billion. So your KPI, insightful KPI, you just need to pick up a chart that helps you monitor that growth. And you can see different chart example on visualization tool that does things around gauge. So when you see any chart type that's around gauge, it is best to use for monitoring your KPI, because you have a KPI, you have, and in this case now I'm talking about numerical KPIs because there are different KPIs that we could have, but let's talk about in terms of sales. So when you use a gauge type of chart, that can easily help you tell you how far are you from the target. So if you're having a target of say 1 billion, and maybe within the first 2 months of the year, you're already hitting like say 80%. So you can easily say, okay, yes, I'm approaching my end target. So with a gauge type of chart, your KPI can be highly insightful to know where you're going and where you are. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Edward. So we have the last question that we're going to be taking for this session. Actually, there are 2 questions that I can see here, but they are kind of related to each other from what I can see. Ghost would like to know if analytics can be used in other fields than business. And then Maureen would also like to know if this can be applied to research in healthcare. So it's kind of, related. So if you could just answer that, that would be Olariwaju. Please try to attempt that. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So, please, can you help me first and put those questions together? I want to talking about application of analytics.
Okay, so our participants would like to know if analytics, like data visualization, can be applied to other fields than business. Also, someone would like to know if you can, how can they apply it to healthcare research? So other fields than just usual business that maybe most people are used to. How can we do that?
Okay, quickly, I'm going to start from the last question, make the application to healthcare research and research. So it can be very good in telling your story in research. And the outcome of your research, aside the normal visualization that goes into your data analysis. And I'm going to cite an example to the blessed memory of Hans Rosling. Hans Rosling is my mentor, distant mentor in terms of visualization. He died in February 2017, but prior to that time, he has done a lot of work. You will see the way Hans Rosling does visualization. In fact, is known as the father of modern visualization. He is a public health professor, but left that seat for statistics because of the power of storytelling. He's able to leverage on data to tell stories of his research, up to the fact that it was global, the rise of nation, a lot of different things that we visualize. So as someone in research, the outcome, aside the fact that there are tools, libraries to leverage on when you're working either with R, Python, 9 or SPSS, depending on the tools you are using to analyze your research data. The outcome, the findings, we heard on today's session, even if it is numerical, you can run simulations, visualize simulations on that, leveraging on the GPU, and the outcome of that can be visualized. Telling story is very important. Beyond just summary, beyond just text conclusion, abstract, you can write a story that can be visualized about the outcome of the research. What is the, we have paperwork now, we have Tableau can do more of that, and Power BI can do more of that. So you can always tell a story on for the outcome of your work. So that's one of the ways you can apply this in research. Beyond what goes into what you are finding, the outcome can be told as a story. Then for application of analytics or dashboard outside business, any field where there is data, you will definitely need analytics and visualization. Because like I said, my belief is that the world is made of numbers. It is your knowledge of how to combine these numbers together that goes a long way to give you breakthrough in your field. So even outside number, I don't know what you mean about outside business. Are you trying to say maybe outside corporate settings? Because no matter the industry you are in today, as far as data is being generated, you will definitely need to visualize to answer questions and to find out why these things are happening. Just to wrap this up, there is something called data gap. Data gap sort of tells us the volume of data that is being generated every day and the availability of skills to analyze this data. And I think that is why most of these data gaps are covered within the structured business, corporate business. But outside this business, those data are being generated, nobody is there talking about. So it's even a call to action that outside the known business, you should go out there to anywhere you can find data, there is always something to bring up from. My favorite quote is that I live in an oil country where data is the new oil, and I live in an oil country where nobody is doing it. It's a message of opportunity. There are a lot of data in Nigeria, but not everyone is exploring because someone is here asking, how do I apply this outside business? Data are there, and you just need to leverage on it by putting your skills to use. I'm going to summarize.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Olariwaju. Also, I'd like to say that we have thankfully come to the end of this panel discussion. Thank you so much to all the participants for coming. This would not have been if you did not make yourself available. Thank you so much, especially also to the panel discussants who have given their time to us to lend us their wealth of knowledge. Thank you, Olariwaju. Thank you, Ahmed, and thank you, Edward. So that is the end of our panel discussion for now. Over to you, Toby.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back to Toby. So thank you so much, guys, for your interaction during the panel session. So now I just be taking you through what we have planned for you this year, 2022. Let me confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so now when we're talking about the DSN Impact Delivery Network, when we say DSN has the largest delivery network in Africa, this is what we're talking about. We have well over 35 delivery methods that we have. Like we're giving information, we're giving knowledge back to the community over this 35 plus delivery machineries. This is what we have for every different kind of individual. You're just graduating from university, you're just about to enter university, or you're a professional. We have different platforms to cater to your needs. We have the AI Invasion platform, we have business analytics for professionals, we have AI executives, we have a mentorship platform, we have the bootcamp, and so on and so forth. Or you don't have very good internet where you are, come to our office. We have a knowledge box of well over 17,000 plus videos where you can build your career in data science, all for free. So please put your hands together for DSN one more time. Now, this is our community of practice. We're showing you what we have planned for the whole year. Now, this is our calendar for the year. We're going to, this is actually available on our website. So my colleagues should be dropping in the chat room the direct link to this. So it is datasciencenigeria.org/2022 DSN community calendar. So my colleagues should be dropping it in the chat. Thank you so much, guys. So we're moving into the next panel discussion, which is going to be taken or moderated by my colleagues as well. So Michael and Gladys. Michael, can you hear me? Gladys, are you on the call?
Okay, thank you, Toby. Everyone can hear me.
Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
Okay, thanks, Toby. Thanks, all. So it's been a lovely section so far on getting to know more on data registration for among of us. So in the absence of information, we tend to live to the worst scenario, which is why this section will help us achieve clarity on what is known versus what speculation is. So our topic for this discussion is effective use of tools in data visualization, and it promises to be an exciting section. My name is Michael, and I'll be moderating with Gladys for this section. So, just like the first panel discussion, we have two sections, which is one for the created questions and the other for the live Q&A. We'll also follow that procedure. So let's quickly just go to know our speakers one after the other. So our first speaker for this section is Bilikisu Wumi Adewinto, and she's a business data analyst passionate about solving business problems with technology. Bilikisu is experienced and detail-oriented with a demonstrated history of working in both private and government organizations on data-related projects and initiatives. She loves working with data, visualizing the data, extracting insight from the data. And also, she's a lover of community. Beyond the two communities she started in her organization, she's an active leader in Nigeria Power Platform, very proficient in Python, Azure, R, Power BI, SQL, Git, GitHub, Docker, and other tools that are needed in this industry. She's exposed to all this technology and tools and experience, combining many of them innovatively to solve complex business challenges. So welcome, Bilikisu. Hi, Bilikisu.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So we'll move to the next speaker. Hi, Toby. So our next speaker is Emmanuel Eze. Emmanuel is a solution-driven data scientist with creativity, tenacity, curiosity, and excellent technical skills to meet business requirements and achieve corporate goals in data gathering and data mining, visualization, machine learning, and computer programming, in making data-driven decisions and data-driven products. Hi, Emmanuel.
Hi, Michael. Hi, everyone.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Emmanuel. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So our final speaker for this second section is David Akonji. David is an experienced analytical business-driven minded data scientist with expertise in business analysis, data analysis, geospatial analysis, project management, database management, and advanced monitoring and evaluation analytics. David is a self-motivated problem solver and an ardent team player who believes in collaboration to achieve set business and financial goals. Hi, David.
Hi, thank you.
Okay, thank you for joining us, David. So, as I already said earlier, our topic for this section is effective use . Organization. So we're all beginners. I would like to know those key factors we need. Hi, Bilikisu.
Okay, hello. Sorry, I didn't get the question. I didn't. My network.
So I said the first question is, we would like to know the key factors that should be considered when selecting a tool to create data visualization.
Okay, thank you so much. I think my audience should be the students that
yes.
will. Okay, good. So I think the first thing that I would advise here is that you look out for a tool that has a kind of good learning curve for you. That would be kind of easier for you to understand and be able to use easily. That's the first thing that I would kind of re-emphasize that you use. So that's been said, you also have to look at what are the capabilities that are available in this tool. So if we're looking at, let's say, the data that we might be working on, we need, you would be better off if you have, okay? You would be better off having a tool that is easier for you to connect with the data. It should have those capabilities that, okay, you can connect with different types, different formats of data. The sizes are also very important, the size of your data and where are you connecting to. So you have, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so you have to look out for a data that is easily integratable into connecting to other data sources. So also the capabilities, the analytical capabilities that are there, would it allow you to visualize different types of visuals that you want to create? Would it be able to give you that drill down capability? So all these are things that you need to look at. Then most importantly, the learning curve, because most students, they might not want to be using this code-like tools, kind of writing too many code and all this stuff, or they might be good with GUIs. So you have to be careful, which one am I starting with? Since I'm a beginner, I would want something easy to start with. So you have to look at the learning curve. You look at the type of data that you can work with and also the techniques that are available there, the various charts that you can work with there. So these are the basic things that I will look out for as a beginner. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bilikisu, for that insightful response. So my next question will go to David. Hi, David.
Hi, Michael.
Okay, so the question is, what are the key qualities any choice of visualization tools must have? So we need to know those qualities. If we are choosing a tool, those qualities it must have.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael. So when we are speaking to the key quality any choice of visualization must have, there are something that's very, very important. So there is a quote by Kidi Nod. He said that without the right visualization tool, raw data is of little use. So data visualization present data in an interactive and visual format. So I will itemize like 3 or 4, 5 things that we need to put in place when we are choosing our right tools for visualization. So your visualization tool must have a clear, concise, and customizable dashboard. So what I mean by that is that the dashboard should easily be called by the face of a data visualization program. Just like Ahmed, as he earlier said, when you look at your car dashboard, it gives you all the vital information you need, from how much gas you have left, how fast you are going, and how much longer you can go before you have to refuel. So similarly, a visualization dashboard should be able to present all the key information at a glance for you. So another important quality dashboard must possess is customizability. So at any given time, your company may be tracking dozens of different data sets. You should have the power to customize which data set appear prominently on the dashboard. Because different teams have different priority, and hence you have to ensure that data visualization tool must allow complete customizability capacity for you. So the feature that you can still look for is the embeddability capacity. So what I mean by the embeddability capacity is that the ability to seamlessly integrate the visual report into any other application you use. So for your team to work efficiently, collaborate better, and share across different platforms, the data visualization software that you are using should be able to give you opportunity to explore your the visual you're having from the visualization tool with other applications. So the quality and richness of these visual reports should not diminish when you are transferring them. So that's one of the things you need to look out for as a quality. So another thing is that capability for interactive reporting. You know, you need to interact with the reports, like reports generated by data visualization tool must be extremely interactive. So this will allow easy investigation to trend, be able to play with pattern, understand the story around this data they are trying to tell. So how does the predictive trend change when you check just one variable, like you check the location, you check gender, you look at the demographic data of the data dashboard, you're able to pick an insight. So the interactive reporting should be to be performed on any visualization tool you are choosing. Then data collection and sharing. So we have different sources of data collection. For some dashboard, you might use one source of data, and some dashboard can use different varieties of data that you might need to explore to give you what you need. So this is very important for you. When you are choosing your visualization tool, you should be able to look at what is the opportunity this particular tool is going to give to you. Is it limited to a particular source? Does it have capability to bring different sources of data into one report and give you the insights you are looking forward to? So that's one of the things you need to look forward to. Sometimes some particular organization might need the data that speak to location. So we're speaking to geotagging and location intelligence. So if you are dealing with data that have issue that is needed for location, you need to look at the visualization tool that can give you that capability. So in terms of location-based analysis, so you'll be able to see your KPI by state, by country, by region. So that is very important. And one last thing before I go on this is AI integration. So many visualization tools of links have been getting smarter with their use of artificial intelligence to analyze, explore, predict trend, to go as far as suggesting future action based on past trend. So if that's something appealing to you or to your organization, that's another feature you look out for when you are picking the quality for your visualization tool. So thank you, Michael.
Thanks, David. That was an extensive response to the question. Wow. So,
thank you.
Hi, Michael, are you still with us?
Apologies, I think he's having internet issues. We should be
Okay, that's fine. Gladys, would you like to speak to any other questions you have for our panelists?
All right, thank you.
Okay, Michael is back on. Hi, Michael, can you hear us?
Hi, apologies. I think Michael's network is not still good. Pedro, the question. Gladys,
okay. Hello, guys. So I think Michael's network is a little bit fluctuating right now. So I'll just take the next question for Emmanuel very quickly. And that question will require you, Emmanuel, to just quickly help us on talk to how to visualize data effectively, right? One needs to be able to apply, just a minute. One needs to be able to employ the best tools, right? To be able to visualize data effectively. Now, the question is, what exactly are the available tools, right? To every data analyst, either practicing or upcoming, that he can make use of, right, to communicate the best insights or the right insight for the clients?
All right, thank you for that. And really, I would start by saying that I can't give categorically a particular tool to say this is the best tool there is, right? And that's because over the years, I've used a number of tools and there are various features across different tools. But of course, like Bilikisu just discussed, there are quite a number of things that you need to look out for in some of these tools, and they will determine which tool to go for. But then I'll give you some pointers to look out for, right? If you think about the kind of reports that you want to generate or that you want to build, you'd ask, is this supposed to be an interactive kind of report? Do you want that report to come alive? Is it the type of report that you want to change as the data is changing from the source, right? Is it the type of report that you want to have different levels of persons having access to different records within the data source? So saying somewhat like a regional manager has access to more data coming from the reports than a branch manager. For instance, talking about row level security, talking about basically security of your data, right? So a number of features that I can't actually exhaust right now. These are features that, these are characteristics that you need to consider, and then they would advise. But of course, I can't just leave without mentioning some of the very great tools you could try your hands on that are very notable with respect to getting the best visualizations out there, right? For instance, one of my favorites is Power BI. And the reason I say Power BI is because with respect to connecting to a wide range of data sources, it can do that, right? With respect to interactivity, with respect to one of the features that my colleagues had mentioned, talking about infusing some of the recent technologies into BI. Can I be able to type questions and that questions get asked to my data and it builds this report, based on simple questions that I ask? And that is because some of these BI tools already have things like natural language processing infused into them, right? Now, if you talk about some other tools like Tableau, you talk about Jasper, you talk about ClickView, these are a number of tools that are out there, right? And of course, another thing you should note is that you don't necessarily need to learn with all of those tools, right? The good thing is that when you understand BI is business intelligence, We understand the act of building reports, right? With one particular tool. When you pick up another one, it's self-explanatory to an extent, right? Because all of the prerequisite knowledge that you need to catch up with all of these BI tools, you'll be able to get them from that very first one that you learned. Take myself, for instance, when I started out with OBIE, that's Oracle BI, Oracle Business BI Enterprise Edition, right? But then I've journeyed over quite a number of BI tools and self-taught because I understood the principles. So more importantly, understand the principles that govern that BI reporting, building dashboards, building reports. And you'd see that a number of tools can come into play. And lastly, let me just add that depending on the type of insight that you want to communicate, when you talk about descriptive analytics reports, diagnostics analytics reports, these are the type of reports that you can build using historical data. So your BI tool would be able to do that independently. But then when you start asking questions about things that are likely going to happen in the future, or how we can even make those things happen, you're gradually moving into the aspect of predictive analytics, of prescriptive analytics. Then you probably need some adjoining solutions, to bring in that machine learning side of things that can augment that data that you have in order to build reports. Basically, what I'm saying is, for instance, if I want to build a BI report that gives me not just historical insight, but also futuristic insight, I can be able to use a combination of Power BI or even and9, for instance. These are just clear examples. The Power BI can take care of the historical reporting or the diagnostics reporting, whereas 9, which is one of my favorite analytics tool for predictive analytics or prescriptive analytics, and bring the other bit of it. Of course, with respect to that bit of predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics, there are a number of other tools out there, data robots, Azure machine learning, a whole lot. Even your Python, you can be able to use this to build all of these predictive insights and then still publish that insight with your BI tool of choice. So at the end of the day, they all work hand in hand. And I'll just leave it at that. And let's give it a try. You'd be surprised. They are very intuitive to catch up with.
Thank you very much, Manuel, for that exhaustive and robust answer. Right, guys, I wish we could take more questions, but we do not have that time. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Every one of our speakers here on this call, right, and on all of the panel sessions are going to be with you for the next 10 weeks, right? So we'll have all of the time to ask them whatever question, even in a more relaxed setting than this, right? So we'll be bringing this second panel session to a close right now. I really want to appreciate our panelists, Bilikisu, who has been amazing. I appreciate Emmanuel. Thank you for that answer. And David, thank you very much for your contributions. I believe that the next 10 weeks will be very, very insightful and valuable to all of our participants. With that, I would like to say thank you for this session and I'll hand over back to Fumi to take up through the rest of the session as we round up.
Thank you, Uche. So, big appreciations to all our speakers so far. We are super excited to have you all on the call today, and to everyone who has joined this session today. It has been amazing. Thank you all for hanging on and following through. And this is why we are here. We are here to continue learning, to push our learning and to enhance and bring our careers to such a pedestal of excellence. And over the next 10 weeks, you will be able to interact more with every speaker, all the mentors that have talked today. So it's all going to be good. And we're going to have this managed on Google Classroom. So you can see the calendar for the next 10 weeks, how we are going to learn. And for once every 2 weeks, you will be able to meet with them live. And on Google Classroom, you can chat them up and engage them anytime. How are you going to participate in the cohorts training? It's really simple. All you have to do is select your preferred cohort on the cohort selection form, which is being shared on the chat now. And make sure that you do this before 11:59 p.m., 11 February GMT+1. That means there's a deadline to this so that you can get the cohort you prefer, right? And note that this form will also be shared to all the registered emails. So if you have registered for this training, you will be able to get the link in your email. And if you do not select a cohort, also please note that you will be automatically assigned a cohort. So it's really simple. You join the Google Classroom by using the link and the class code that will be sent to you. And once you fill the course selection form, you get that link. Any registered participant who does not select a cohort before this deadline will automatically get a class assigned to them. So a very important note is to ensure to maximize the session, make sure you join with your personal Google account so you don't have any issues on the Google Classroom. And using the Google Classroom is super easy. For the next 10 weeks, you'll be learning here, and it's going to be so amazing because you will see once you come into the classroom, the first place you come, highlighted one is the stream where you can communicate with your teachers, your mentors, these amazing experts who will be available for all the 10 weeks. They have volunteered their time to give to us to feed the community with their wealth of data analytics and dashboard building, data visualization knowledge. On the second tab, the classwork, you see access to all the content. You can see other people on the class with the people tab. On 4, you'll be able to see all the assessments and assignments that are coming up. And at any point, you can share on the stream, which is highlighted 5 there. 6 is where it's going to pop up once you send the message to the stream. Here's the classwork. You will see all the assessments shown. It's highlighted 4 here. And you see once an assessment is posted, content from the tutor is posted, you'll be able to access it there. So really, that is it for this session. All you have to do really, again, is fill the cohort selection form, and you'll be duly notified of all that you need to do. It has been an amazing 2 hours, and we appreciate and thank you all for making today so big. All our facilitators, our tutors, our mentors, we appreciate you all. Thank you for taking our time to give back to the global DSN community. We appreciate you so much, and we cannot wait for the amazing things that are going to come in the next 10 minutes. The beautiful dashboards, the insightful dashboards that are going to come out of this community. And to everyone on the call, thank you for joining. The last 2 hours has been mind-blowing. And so please do not forget to follow us on social media, share your experience, and let's learn from one another. We'll catch up on Google Classroom, and please enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you all for your time.